Getting me hyped up right now.
Dude, was there a next level Grady? Could we have seen a 40-40 Grady? And was that something that you cared about to end your career technically, because you're not officially retired? We were talking about this.
I still can't believe this actually happened. I finally met my favorite player of all time, Grady Sizemore. He's the reason why I fell in love with baseball in the first place, the reason why this channel even exists. And he was nice enough to meet up with me, and we talked about his meteoric rise to superstardom in Major League Baseball, the fact that he was one of the most talented players we've ever seen. And on the flip side, we did talk about his injuries and the fact that Grady Sizemore is not even retired. At 40 years old, he can make a comeback. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but it was fun to talk about. I hope that you guys enjoy. Shout out to Grady Sizemore and all of you guys for making this happen. Enjoy the interview.
Grady Sizemore, everyone has been waiting for this day. It's a big full circle moment for me. We were kind of talking off camera. I kind of fanboyed a little bit. Not as bad as you guys think, but I pay a lot of respect to this guy because he's a big reason why I like baseball and why I have this platform. So if you guys don't know who Grady Sizemore is, a few little stats, because I want to remind Grady how good he was, and I feel like he won't say it himself. But at 22 years old, first full season, 2020 club. The next year, Grady became one of 2 players ever to have 50 doubles, 10 triples, 20 home runs, and 20 stolen bases in the same season. Only 2 people, one right here. Third season, first Gold Glove. Fourth season, back-to-back Gold Gloves. And in the same year, home run derby at Yankee Stadium, stole 38 bags. Like, do you realize how good you were?
No, not at all. No, I don't look back and think about that kind of stuff. I enjoyed just the whole process. I enjoyed the work. I enjoyed the grind. It was hard, and it was fun at the same time. So when I look back, I just think just how lucky I was and how much fun it was, and I just remember all the good times. Yeah.
When you talk about the grind, so a cool thing about Grady is he works with the Diamondbacks now.
That's right.
So one thing I wanted to ask you is when you're working with someone like Kyle Lewis, Kyle's going through the grind right now.
Yeah.
What would you say to people in terms of what you learned? And I remember specifically a hot stove interview you did where you talked about, you played pretty much 4 years in a row through injury. So when did you start to figure out, maybe I'm not going to push it? When should I actually,
I think I figured it out too late. Yeah, it was probably a little too late. I think you look back now and I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have been diving for balls in a 12-run game or something like that. But that's just the only way I knew how to play.
That's it.
I think I kind of had that old school football mentality growing up, and I just didn't know how to take plays off or take care of myself. I was just reckless, That's how I wanted to play. I feel like that's what made me good, and I didn't know how to dial that down. It was just one speed for me, and that's the only way I knew how to play. That's what made me good.
That's what made you really good. I mean, you had seasons of 53 doubles, 38 stolen bases. I mean, a question I have for you, was there a next level Grady? Could we have seen a 40-40 Grady? And was that something that you cared about?
I never felt like I hit my full potential.
Really?
I think there's always, every season, no matter how good or how bad, you always feel like there's more in the tank. Even on a good stretch, a good month, you never think about the highlights. You think about the 5 at-bats that you gave away, or the one game where you just didn't have it, So there was always more in the tank. I never felt like I hit my full potential. I think a lot of guys are like that, though. I think you talk to any player, and he'll tell you that there's more they want to get out of. You constantly feel like you want to just improve every day. Every day was a new day to improve, and I just tried to continue that mentality and try to get more out of me. So I never felt like I hit full potential.
Wow, that's crazy to hear out loud. Because a lot of people, there are groups of people, they put you in the same conversation as Eric Davis. Someone in their prime just was different. I mean, Grady, if you take a look from ages 22 to 25, you were actually the 4th player ever to have 2 Gold Gloves, 150 doubles, 100 home runs, and 100 stolen bases by turning 25 years old. Because I bring that up, doubles, Gold Gloves, that's defense, power. You were the full package.
Getting me hyped up right now.
Dude, I've been watching you for so long, and you never gave yourself credit. And even your coaching staff, they would say, if you walked into a room, you would never know our best player is this guy right here. And I wonder if you think back, are you naturally a quiet person? Are you someone where you have to get used to?
Definitely quiet person.
Quiet person.
Definitely
always
never,
been that way.
Always
since high
been
school?
that way since high school. Never, even in Little League, never felt comfortable with the attention.
Really?
Just never liked a lot of, even my dad bragging at me, on me when I was little. It just always felt unnatural and uncomfortable. I just really liked playing. I never liked the attention that came with it. I never felt comfortable with it. Not that I didn't like it. I just never felt comfortable with it. It's a team sport. And I always wanted the focus to be on the team.
Right.
And not to be on just the individual or whatever. So I just tried to keep that focus and that mentality and just stay humble. I think I had a a unique upbringing where like I was around a good group of coaches and parents that were all like well-grounded and just never let me get a big head and always pushed me and remind me of just working hard and the good work ethic. So it carried over and it made it easy as I got into the next level in professional ball, just to kind of keep that mentality and that mindset.
I mean, this guy, if you guys did not know, could have gone to Washington to play football.
Yeah, play football.
Which is always funny because MLB The Show, they kind of disrespect your arm strength. And I think to myself, he almost went to Washington as a quarterback.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
So that's actually a fun question for me. So you said that we didn't see prime Grady.
Yeah.
What were the things that you were working on, and was it part of the fact that you just wanted to get better at something, or is it just, even though you were really good, that humble side of you when you were the best high school athlete, you could have played college basketball maybe even? I don't know about college basketball.
Not basketball. I couldn't shoot a lick.
No.
I could play some D, but I couldn't shoot at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's always parts of your game you work on, like just defensively, whether it is arm strength or footwork, and on the offensive side, just getting better at stealing bases or just, doing better at, 2 strikes, whatever it is. I think there was always a part of my game every year that I wanted to work on, improve on, and not to forget, what you do well and keep working on that. So that's what I love about baseball, man. There's so much failure, and it's hard that you walk away every season just, like you said, there's humbled and just wanting more and thinking about those few at-bats or those few games that just didn't go your way, that you were right there, and you just – you always think like there's always something that clicks, and you just want to feed off of those little things and add that to your game and just keep working.
So when I say things like one of 2 players ever, when I say things like 4th youngest player to ever do something, or a crazy stat from ages 22 to 25, did you pay attention to WAR? Was WAR a big stat when you were playing? WAR is like what wins above replacement.
Yeah, I know what it means, or not really. I don't even know what it means. I've heard of it.
So there's like baseball reference WAR, there's Fangraphs WAR, but from 22 to 25, you had a 27.3 F-WAR. That's what they call it, which is above Willie Mays and right behind Barry Bonds.
That's crazy.
So when I say that out loud, I listened to a Christian Yelich podcast one time, and he said he never looks at the scoreboard. He doesn't check his stats. Were you someone that legitimately played 162 without knowing what you were doing on the field and how special you were? Or was it just, I'm just here to play baseball, this is my job, and then I go home to my family?
It is tough. It's tough not to look at your stats and get caught up in average and that kind of stuff. But,
were there moments where you looked at it more often when you're struggling, or is it just like
it's always when you're struggling? When you're going good, you just put it away, put it aside. When you're going bad, you're trying not to peek at that scoreboard. You're just like
July 2008, Grady was not looking at his stat sheet. He knew it was looking good. That was one of your better months.
It was. I don't even remember that month. I remember that year being a good year, but I don't remember.
You hit 333 with 8 home runs, 8 stolen bases, and only got caught 1 time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that was a good month. Yeah.
That was a good month. So it makes me curious, of all the things that you did at an elite level, what's the one thing you were most proud of? Was it the stolen base efficiency? Was it the fact that you were a dual threat? Actually, triple threat when you factor in defense.
I never felt like I was excelling in one part of the game.
Really?
I thought I was good at everything, just not great at any one thing. I tried to have the most well-rounded game I could, and I knew that I wasn't the fastest, I didn't have the strongest arm, I wasn't going to hit for the highest average or have the most home runs. I just wanted to stuff that stat box. The more I could just be well-rounded all around in my game, I felt like that's how I could best contribute to my team. So I tried to just do a little bit of everything, and it was I just wanted to grind it out. Like I said, I was trying to hit doubles. I was trying to get on base. I was trying to steal runs. If it was a bunt, I was trying to do like any little thing I could do to help my team win. It was just that's how I like to play, just hard and just aggressive and just all out.
I mean, when I look back at highlights and even just the memory bank of all the things, even watching at watching at Anaheim Stadium, you robbed Vladdy of a home run one time. You remember that one?
Cliff Lee was on the mound.
Oh yeah. I mean, and then when I see stuff like Cliff Lee starting for the Phillies and Grady Sizemore's in left field, or even when I look at the baseball reference page, to end your career technically, because you're not officially retired. We were talking about this. But actually, I'm curious about, you actually ended with the Rays pretty strong. So my question is, I've always wondered this. What happened with you not coming back that next season?
I don't really know. It was one of those things where there were some offers early. And I was kind of waiting maybe for something a little bit better or something that I thought was a good fit. And I probably waited a little too long, and the offers just kind of dried up as spring started. And then I still stayed in shape that year, and even the following year I was throwing it out there. But I just think that teams were just kind of moving on. I think that they looked at me as an older guy with a lot of injuries, and I still felt like I had a lot left in the tank, and I still felt like I was kind of still not 100% healthy. I was still, after those 2 years, still kind of getting my body back underneath me.
You had 7 surgeries?
7 surgeries, yeah. I think, there was a guy with the Cubs before I came back who mentioned something to me that probably would have been the best advice I got. And he was telling me that, have you considered, taking a full year in the minor leagues when you come back? Just because I'd missed so much time, and I think I probably should have done that.
At the Red Sox?
Yeah, before I signed with the Sox, I think he was kind of telling me that, and I didn't want to hear it. I just wanted to be I wanted to be back. I wanted to be playing. But that was probably the best advice because I spent a long time, not healthy. And
so when you say you wanted to come back, do you think that was ego creeping in, like that you're good and that not to say that the person who was playing with the Red Sox wasn't good, but do you feel like you had a better chance of starting over that person, and that's why you felt like, why would I go play in the minors when I can win this job?
Yeah, that's the thing. I played well in spring. Probably hurt me more than anything.
Well, you had a couple web gems in the spring.
Yeah.
You had a home run and everything like that.
It was, again, I played probably better than I thought I should have, and I was, they kind of came to me like, do you feel ready? I was like, let's do this. I wanted to I was itching. It had been like better part of 4 years. But, once I got into that season, I realized how out of shape I was and how I still didn't have my strength underneath me because, it was a hard road to get back. When I was injured, it took me a long time. And even when I came back with the Sox, I wasn't healthy. I was just kind of getting to the point where I could start ramping up. So it's probably a little too soon. And I used those 2 years I was able to stay healthy and I started to get there. But I think it was just, I wasn't producing like I wanted to. And I think, baseball's going a different direction, man. They're leaning on the young guys now, and I think I kind of got phased out a little bit. But yeah, I didn't retire. I couldn't. I still don't have that in my DNA. Like I still have the itch. I'm not sure. Maybe they come back and give it one more run if I feel.
Let's say, okay, Fantasyland, right? If I want the best content possible, the best vlog possible, be Grady Sizemore returns to Major League Baseball. You're 40 years old now.
40, yeah.
You're in great shape still,
Yeah.
and I'm sure you're in the cages with these Diamondbacks guys, and they probably are like impressed with how you can still swing it. Do you think that because you're not retired and there's even more roster spots, I feel like older guys are more appreciated now, where they have more jobs, whether it's the DH that's universal. Do you think that you could still play professional baseball at an average level?
Maybe an average level. But
level?
These guys are pretty freak athletes.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can get the body back in shape.
Really?
No, it took a beating. Yeah, it took a beating. It's been a long, I'd say the hardest part was the time away. Missing 3 or 4 years, the speed of the game catches up real fast. So it was hard. Rehabbing, I think for me, it took a long time to kind of get back. I had a long time without answers. With a long time without answers and not finding a way to get back on the field. And that was probably the hardest part. Not the rehab. I didn't mind it. It just, we hit a lot of roadblocks, a lot of dead ends. But, I'm grateful for the time I had.
You should be, bro. You were so good. Inspired a lot of people.
Oh, well, thank you for that. Yeah, I haven't officially called it a quits, but I think I know that I'm probably better suited helping these younger guys get to the next level.
I don't know. I feel like you kind of opened up Pandora's box.
Yeah.
You're gonna get some people saying, "Yo, Grady, the A's, they could use a DH. They could use a left fielder."
That's I'm just I'm just kind of helping right now, but we'll see one day. We'll see how things go.
Yeah, but I mean, even with guys like Corbin Carroll, Kyle Lewis, you're helping out a lot. I did want to ask you kind of one more question. I know you have some things to do. If there's anyone in baseball that, I know you don't watch every single game, but do you see yourself in one of these younger guys, whether I personally see J-Rod as like righty version of you, someone that is going to play Gold Glove defense, get after on the bases, hit for power, hit the gaps.
Yeah.
Even Corbin Carroll is quick, and he's got some sneaky pop as well. And I feel like people don't credit you for being powerful as well. You have 33 home runs one year.
Yeah.
So do you see yourself in any current MLB player?
Yeah, I mean, those guys, they're very similar. Very good analogies right there, good comparisons. Again, I think these guys are almost, I look at them athletically, it seems like the athletes are just getting better and better as time goes on. So, I think the tools are all there for them to be, as good and better. So, it's exciting time in baseball. A lot of young talent out there. So those are definitely two guys that I can't wait to watch. And yeah, like I said, being with the Arizona now and watching Corbin and those guys, it's exciting.
That's it. So if you guys are around the Arizona Diamondbacks facility, make sure you guys take a look at Grady. But I know he's got some stuff to do. I just want to say one more time, I know stuff happened throughout your career, but you inspired me. You inspired a lot of different people.
That means a lot.
And again, I just want to make sure you were one of the most talented players that this game has ever seen. He doesn't go on YouTube, so he hasn't seen like the Grady biopics of deep diving into your stats. I know you're not retired, but if you do look back, I hope that you understand, like we all appreciate what you did, how hard you put it, and the fact that you did that for us.
Yeah.
You did that for Cleveland.
Yeah.
And just know it inspired me and it really changed. Everyone knows this. Like, they're not going to think I'm weird. They know that when MLB The Show first released you a couple years ago.
Was that you?
That was, yeah. And everyone was tagging me.
That was awesome.
That was so cool, right?
I'm a guy who like played games growing up, and my wife told me that. She showed it to me, and I was like, I went out and got the game. Like,
Did you really?
Yeah, right away. I was like, you message Fuzzy right now. You tell him I'm coming on that show. Let's do this. Like,
How it got so bad. So you have a card in what's called Diamond Dynasty, right? And then they have parallels where like you get to level 1, level 2, level 5 takes like 27 hours of gameplay. 2 consecutive years in a row, I played like 27 hours in a row to get you to level 5.
That's a grind.
It's awful because the last time I was able to really use you was the Bigs 2. I don't know if you ever played the Bigs 2.
I don't think I played that one.
My friends hated playing me.
I think I stopped playing after, what was the one EA used to do?
2K?
MVP or something?
Oh, MVP
That's
baseball?
when I stopped playing, yeah.
Dude, I
can't
used
do
to,
new ones.
I would use you and I would trade you from Cleveland to my team in the Bigs 2. And it was really annoying to play you because of your speed and you had a legendary glove. So you can make catches off the wall and between your legs and no one ever got base hits. And I just want to say thank you for making the time. And even over text, like they say, don't meet your heroes. Nicest guy. And it really goes a long way. So I just want to say thank you for coming out.
Thank you, man. Your words mean a lot too, man. You know, to play the game and to have someone, you know, respect you like that and to be an influence is
not weird.
Not weird.
Okay.
Honestly, you're making my life just as much as I'm probably hopefully being this helping you out. You know?
I mean, my brother's behind the camera. He can confirm all of this. So
no, it's a good moment for me as well. You know, to hear someone, you know, like talking about you like that and about your game and respect and everything, man. That's what it's all about.
So I'm gonna send this video to Grady once it's live. He's an enigma, so you can't send a DM to Grady or anything like that. Make sure you guys show some love to Grady. Tell him thank you for coming out and for my brother for coming out as well. Thank you guys for just everything and making this moment happen. It means a lot to me. So appreciate you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
If you guys watched all the way until the end, I just want to say thank you so much, and another shout out to Grady Sizemore and his family for making this happen. I am 100% gonna be showing this to my kids in 10 to 15 years, and I already know that Grady's gonna have the same effect on them as he did with me. He made me fall in love with the game of baseball, and honestly, that's the biggest blessing of my life. If I didn't like baseball, I wouldn't have a YouTube channel. Like, I'd still be working at Apple getting yelled at for iCloud issues. But all jokes aside, I want to give a massive shout out to you guys, the viewers. This opportunity would not be possible without all of you supporting my channel since the beginning. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you for everything. And again, one more shout out to Grady Sizemore and his family. This was insane. Thank you so much.
And that's it.
That was awesome.
That's it, bro.
Hope that was okay, man.
No, it was perfect. I hope that I was
I'm
nervous.
terrible on camera. I'm nervous.
What do you mean
too.
you're